Hello there, it's Mr. Payton. How's it going? This is going to be a help video on all the practice on your own questions for 6.09 problem solve with equations. So let's flip it around here and see what they look like. All right, number one, a customer at the grocery store purchased 27 apples and an unknown number of bananas. The customer purchased a total of 58 apples and bananas. What equation represents this situation? How many bananas did the customer purchase? Okay, so the equation we're going for here, purchasing 27 apples, I see that as plus 27. Plus 27. And the customer had a total of 58 apples. I'm sorry, 58 apples and bananas. So 27 apples plus B, I guess, for bananas. I would do 27 plus B is equal to 58. Or it could be B plus 27 is equal to 58. Let's see what their answer options. 27 plus B is equal to 58 is the one that looks correct to me. Now, what's the solution? The solution would be, well, what's the value of B? 27 plus what is equal to 58? If we look at that equation, if we just undo the multiplication undo the adding, that's adding, right? 27 plus B, let's undo the adding by subtracting. If we just subtract 27 from both sides of the equation, 27 minus 27 on the left will leave you just with B. On the right, you'll get 58 minus 27. 58 minus 27 is 31. And so 31 will work for B. The answer must be, the solution to this equation would be B is equal to 31. Computer verifies that that is correct. All right, let's move to the next. Question 2. A candle decreases in height by 3 inches after burning and is now 9 inches tall. All right, decreasing in height by 3 inches tells me minus 3. Something minus 3. Yeah, if your height is 50 inches and you decrease in height 3 inches, your height will be 50 minus 3. I'm not sure how you would decrease your own height, but a candle certainly gets shorter and shorter as it's burning, right? So a candle is burning and it decreases in height by 3 inches. So something minus 3 is equal to 9, right? That's its new height after it loses 3 inches. So something minus 3 is equal to 9. Looks like they're using the variable L here. So L minus 3 is equal to 9 would be the one we want. Now let's figure out what the value of L is. That's the solution here. How much height did the candle lose? So L minus 3 is equal to 9. Let's write it like this. L minus 3, 9. I want to add 3. I want to add 3 to both sides to get 9 by itself. Get L by itself. I get L is equal to 9 plus 3. That's going to be 12. Okay. Sorry, that was my daughter telling me she was going to put on a Band-Aid. So I think L is going to be 12 here, because what minus 3 is 9? Well, 12 minus 3 is 9. If you want to look at all the related equations, yeah, L minus 3 is equal to 9. That's the original. L would be 9 plus 3, or L could be 3 plus 9, or L minus 9 will be 3. But the ones that get the variable isolated are the only ones I really care about. And that would be looking at either L is equal to 9 plus 3 or L is equal to 3 plus 9, which allows me to simplify that just to get 12. So I think the solution is going to be 12 here. L is equal to 12. Check answer. Yes. Good to go. Next. A bird built a nest out of sticks and twigs. The bird used 45 sticks and had a total of 120 sticks and twigs. Total of 120 tells me equals 120 right there. Something, something, something equals 120. there's only one equation even amongst these that you may select from that is equal to 120. This one. Is that the one? Okay, so 45 sticks plus a certain number of twigs, right? It doesn't say plus in it, but we know the bird used 45 sticks, but it used sticks and twigs. It had a total of 120 sticks and twigs. So 45 plus some mystery number of twigs would be what I'm going for here. 45 plus t, or t plus 45 would be my equation, equaling 120, because that's the total, right? Now, how do we get the solution? How do we solve for t? Well, let's look at it here. T plus 45 is 120. Let's undo the addition, do the inverse of the addition by subtracting 45 from both sides. It makes it go away on the left. On the right, we get t is equal to 120 minus 45. So what is the solution? What's 120 minus 45? Let's see, if I borrow from the 2, make that a 10. That's 5. Borrow from that 1, make that an 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It'd be 7, right? 75. 120 minus 45, 75. T is equal to 75. Let's check. Bingo. Got it. All right, next. Hold on a moment. Next, employees at the car wash earn $8 an hour. An employee earns $168 last week. Give me an equation that represents this situation, and the solution to the equation, how many hours did the employee work last week? Okay, so this $8 slash H, that means $8 per 1 hour. $8 times a certain number of hours, right? If we multiply 8 by a certain number of hours, we don't know the number of hours, right? That's what we're solving for here. But my relationship is going to be, the operation is going to be multiply here. 8 times however many hours this person worked will equal the $168 that they made. So I'm looking for one that says equal 168, and then the only one that says that is this. 8H is equal to 168. That's the equation. So that means 8 times 8, like $8 an hour times the number of hours you work will equal the amount of money you made. So we equal 168 there, $168. So how many hours did that person work? Well, let's just undo the multiplication by dividing both sides by 8. That cancels away. We get H is equal to 168 over 8. That's the same as 168 divided by 8. Same thing. That should tell us the number of hours the person worked. Okay, so what is that? What's 168 divided by 8? Well, 8 fits into 2. 8 fits into 16 2 times. 8 fits into 8 1 time, so it looks like it's 21. Looks like it's 21. Let's substitute back in the original equation. Is 8 times 21 equal to 168? So they worked 121 hours. I'm sorry, 21 hours. 21 hours at $8 per 1 hour. $8 an hour, 21 hours. Let's do that. 21 times 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. That does equal 168. So the solution to our equation would be H is equal to 21. And the computer verifies. And look, they give you this full explanation down here. Similar to what I'm saying, I'm just kind of giving you my own interpretation on this. But when you guys are working through these on your own problems, take advantage of the explanation, whether you get it right or not. Okay, next. An elephant eats 1,200 pounds of food each month. The zoologist recorded that the elephant ate 600 pounds of food. What equation represents this situation? How many months how many months did the zoologist record data for? Okay, so the elephant eats 1,200 pounds of food each month. And if the elephant only ate 600 pounds of food, let's think about it for a second. How many months could that possibly be? Could it even be 1 month? If the elephant ate 1,200 pounds of food per month, then after 1 month, that elephant will have eaten 1,200 pounds. So this is less than 1 month. I can tell my answer is going to be less than 1 month for the variable right off the bat. Okay, so let's look at it over here. The elephant eats 1,200 pounds of food per month. That's going to be multiplied times however many months we're talking about. However, the elephant only eats a total of 600 pounds. So you see how this is going to be less than 1 month. We should get something less than 1. So 1,200 times m is equal to 600. If we divide both sides by 1,200, we jump right to the related equation that gets me m by itself. M is equal to 600 over 1,200. 600 over 1,200. So that is going to be your answer here. But what is that? That looks like a fraction that's not simplified. Okay, we need to simplify that fraction. If we divide the top and bottom by 10, all of a sudden it's going to be 60 over 120. If we divide the top and bottom by 10 again, all of a sudden it's going to be 6 over 12. You see, we could just lose those zeros. 600 over 1,200 is a fraction that could be boiled way, way down to 1/2. Actually, 1/2. So, like if you actually look at these numbers, we could reduce it down to 1/2. The greatest common factor between the numerator and denominator is actually going to be 600. Imagine dividing out this giant copycat fraction. I mean, it's still equal to 1. 600 over 600. 600 divided by 600 is 1. 1,200 divided by 600 is 2. It's going to be 1/2. Now, I don't see 1/2 here. Well, what's my equation? 1,200 times m is 600. So that's going to be this. But you see, we do have the decimal form of 1/2. 0.5 is going to be 1/2 here, guys. So if you do it how I did it here and you're looking for a decimal, just turn your fraction into a decimal. Remember, you could turn any fraction into a decimal by dividing it. Look, if we got 1/2, 1/2 is the same as 1 divided by 2. What is 1 divided by 2? How many times does 2 fit into 1? Well, it doesn't fit into 1, so we have to add a 0 and our decimal point. 2 fits into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10, and we're done. 0.5 or 5/10 is the decimal version of 1/2, and so our answer was 0.5. It doesn't look like there's much of an explanation for this one. All right, let's go to the next one. A carpenter cut a board into 3 pieces of equal length. Right off the bat there, I'm thinking this must be something divided by 3. Something divided by 3. When you're cutting something up into equal sized pieces, it tells me I'm doing division. One of the pieces was 15 2/10 centimeters long. Okay. So what equation represents this situation? What's the length of the board? So it looks like they're using the variable b for the length of the board. Let's go over here. So let's see, b divided by 3, whatever that length of the board is, divided by 3 would be cutting it up into 3 pieces of equal length. If the board is 15 feet, for example, divided by 3, each board would be 5 feet. but they're telling us one of the pieces was 15 2/10 centimeters long. Actually, all three of the pieces would be that length, wouldn't they, if they're of equal length? So b divided by 3 is going to equal 15 2/10, like that. That'd be the equation I'm going for. But do I see that? Not exactly. I see it like this. B over 3 is equal to 15 2/10. Same thing. B divided by 3 is the same exact thing as B over 3. That means division. So we can write it like that too. And that's going to be the equation we're going for. Now, how do we get the solution? How do we get the value for B? What divided by 3 makes 15.2? Well, let's just do the inverse. Let's jump right to the related equation. It gets me B by itself by multiplying by 3. If we multiply by 3, on this side of the equation, it's like multiplying by 3 over 1. You end up with 3 over 3 times B, which is the same as 1 times B, which is the same as B. Then over on the right, you get 15 2/10 times 3. Times 3, right? So what's 15 2/10 times 3? 15.2 times 3. We'll do 3 times 2 to make 6, 5 times 3 to make 15, 3 times 1 to make 3, add 1 to make 4. Now let's plant the decimal point one place over in our product because it's one place over in our factors, like that. 45 6/10 should be our original board length here. And that's it right there, 45 6/10. Check our answer. Oh, thank goodness it's correct. Let's go to the next one. Last one. Mrs. Williams baked cupcakes for 4 parties. She baked 6 cupcakes for each party. Let N represent the number of cupcakes Mrs. Williams baked. So I think we're going to have some division going on here. Although you may see this and just think, well, it's 4 parties, 6 cupcakes for each party. Isn't it just 6 times 4 to get 24? And I believe you'd be right. I believe the answer is going to come out to be 24, the solution. But I don't see an equation here that says 6 times 4 is equal to n. That's not what we're going for here. Let's just say here that getting 6 cupcakes for each party, let's put that on the right side of the equal sign. Let's say something's going to equal 6. Let's say she started with n number of cupcakes and dividing that amongst 4 parties, like that. We started with a certain number of cupcakes. There's 4 parties. She's baking the same number of cupcakes for each party. That number ends up being 6. Something divided by 4 is 6. That's what they're going for here. Then we can make that look like 6 times 4 is n, certainly, right? To get n by itself, multiply both sides by 4. We get n is equal to 6 times 4, and then we could solve it and we get 24. If you wanted to look at the other related equations, we could also say n is equal to 4 times 6. And we could say n divided by 6 is equal to 4, although that's not really going to help us. So the equation we're going for here is n over 4 is equal to 6. Then when we solve for n, we get n being equal to 24. This one doesn't have an explanation either. But this one though, I honestly, the way I would interpret this right off the bat would be just 6 times 4. 4 parties, 6 cupcakes for each party. Why not just do 6 times 4? So to me, this equation, I guess it still represents the situation, but I think you may also just be able to write 6 times 4 is equal to n, and that would also represent this situation. That's the last one, guys. All right, good luck on the quiz. Oh, let me give you a little heads up about one of the quiz questions. Hold on a sec, I'll turn on my camera again. Let me try this. How does this look? You can see me and you can see the whiteboard or the blackboard. I normally don't make videos like this because the audio comes out a little weird sometimes, so this is just kind of a test. But check out what I have up on the blackboard here. This is one of the quiz questions you may come across in this quiz for 6.09. I copied it down because I didn't want you guys to see the answer, but here's the mistake. They use the variable t instead of x when you see that one there, t is equal to 3. That's just supposed to be an x, okay? The variable being used here is an x, so just pretend like that says x is equal to 3 and not t, okay? And you should be fine. That's the only mistake with it. They just use t instead of x. Now with this particular problem though, you're gonna have to remember my song, dividing fractions, don't be shy, flip the second and multiply. So if I still have your attention at the end of this long help video, there's a little bonus for you. It's an actual quiz question. What I would do here is divide both sides by 2/5 to get x by itself. That's going to be x is equal to 6/5 divided by 2/5. I'm not going to work the whole thing out, but dividing fractions, don't be shy, flip the second and multiply. 6/5 times 5/2. Work that out and you will have the right answer. Just pretend like that t says x and you'll be in good shape. All right. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. See you soon.